see me. I'm waiting for it to come up on the laptop. Hang on. Is everyone there? There we are. Okay. How are we? Took a moment, but we got there. Let me have a look at the chat, see who we've got. We got a few people here. All right, let me have a look. Reese is in the house. Welcome in. We have foraging and urban farming. That is Amanda. Hello, Amanda. Hello, hello. Maybe I'll move my laptop slightly. Okies Eden, that is Jason. Welcome in. Ace, welcome in. I'm trying to angle everything as I go here. So, Kirsty from Heart's Humble Homestead is here. Welcome in, my friend. Dora, is Dora here? Yes. Hello, my love. Hello, hello. I've got my camera set up, so I'm looking at the back of the camera now. So I don't know if I'll do that again. I don't like it as much because there's a delay on my laptop. So when I'm standing here talking to you, I can't tell if I'm actually in shot till like 10 seconds later or something. So anyway, are we well? It's Saturday morning here on the homestead in Australia. It's a little bit cold. It was 3 degrees Celsius when I got up this morning, which isn't too bad. I know Dora is going to be absolutely just shrinking with horror at the thought of 3 degrees. But it's an alpine thing. It's nice and warm inside though, or warmer than outside at least. And of course I've got my wood stove going. Oh, I don't like looking at the back of the camera. I don't like this at all. I wonder if I could change it round. I could change it round. It's just going to be a bit of faffing around. Should I do it? Should I change my camera so I can actually see the screen? Glenn Roebuck, welcome in. Brr, says Dora. Yes, yes, do it. Change the camera around. Oh gosh, okay. Let's see what we can do here. So if I do that, and then I do that, and then I've got to do that. Come on. What's it doing? Okay. Okay. And then I'll do that. Just bear with me, bear with me. Okay. So that sort of works. Might raise this up a little bit. Thank you so much. I thought I was all organized. But there's always something, isn't there? So do that. Spiral. It's Spiral here. Welcome in, my friend. So there's my wood stove. Lovely wood stove. And I thought I'd potter around this morning, maybe make a bit of soup. So that's my plan. Get that out of the way. You don't want to be looking at a bag. Well, you are. You're looking at me. Oh, dear me. I'm an old bag, aren't I? Okay, let's have a look at the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying. Good. Okay, so hi there, Heart. I dried those onions, says Amanda to Kirsty. Everyone is saying hello to everyone else. Lovely. Okay. Amanda says hi. Hello, my love. Even though I probably said hello to you earlier, but I was a bit distracted with the camera being all sort of skew-whiff and a bit strange. So I'm here now. Mentally, I'm here. All right. Dora, I'm so glad you encouraged me to change the camera around. This works for me. It didn't work before. Oh, the gingerbread cookie sweater is adorable. Yeah, I love this. I love this. It's my one of my absolute favorite jumpers or sweaters. It's yeah, been my favorite for many years. Oh, Kirsty from Heart's Humble Homestead says that foraging is close to 1K subs. Amanda, how exciting for you. It's not that long since I got to 1,000. So we'll get you there. We'll get you there. If you haven't gone over and subscribe to Amanda's channel, which is foraging and urban farming, please consider. It's an awesome channel. Spiral is here. Callum AI is here. Hello, Callum. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. How are you, Spiral? CL Fantasy Waves is in. And Explorer says, I'm off to save your latest video. And she's saying that to Amanda. Miss M. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming in, Miss M, and saying hello, and, you know, give it a quick thumbs up before you go again. If you could, that would be lovely. Have a wonderful evening, Miss M. Yes, have a wonderful evening. So I think I've caught up on the chat, and for the moment, of course, because the chat will keep moving, won't it? But yeah, I was going to make this soup, and it's a soup I do quite often. It's a curried vegetable soup, and it's really great because you can basically just chuck in anything. And yeah, this isn't a tutorial. Don't think it's a tutorial, but my Saturday morning lives, you know, after a week of wandering around on the farm and looking at animals and looking at various things, I like to sort of potter around inside a little bit on a Saturday. So this is just basically me pottering around, and you get to keep me company. And yeah, if I'm cooking, you get to see me doing that as well. Now, what are you looking at there? That doesn't look very exciting. Now I've got to lower this. Hang on, we'll lower it a little bit. We'll do that. And we'll do that. And then maybe you can you see the chopping board there? Not quite. Not quite. Here we go. We'll try that. We'll try that. Oh, no, you're not really seeing much at all, are you? Take a little bit lower. But like I said, it's not a tutorial anyway. Yes, it's Saturday. Oh, you still can't really see. But that's okay. We're winging it, as they say. Yes, that's right, Amanda. I am your future. The next day girl. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Saturday Susan. Yes, there you go. Saturday Susan. That sort of works, doesn't it? Right. So what do I need to do? I've got to slice some onions. We'll start with onions. Oh, the kitty. I know you're the baby kitty. And of course, I'll need a big pot. I love this pot. It's got like a colander / steamer thing, And then it's got another colander / steamer thing. And then it's just a pot. So versatile. I like versatile kitchen products. All right, let's put that over here because we're not going to need that. But what we are going to need is onion. So let us start by chopping 2 of these while I chat with you. And the great thing about this is that these onions are particularly potent onions, and every time I chop them, I end up with tears streaming down my face. But the good thing is that because I'm doing a live, every time it gets too bad, I can just like move across here and look at the chat and pretend that I'm actually, you know, not crying, if you know what I mean. I should move that a bit closer as well. Hello, Joy. And Joy, notice you're in blue. Did you notice that? After the live finished the other day, Joy, I went in and there was a few people that I was trying to make mods the other day while I was on my, oh, which live was it, Joy? Was it my Tuesday one or my Thursday one? I don't really remember. But there was one of them, and I tried to make you a mod and it didn't work. So you are a mod now. Right. Now, of course, you can use leeks for this if you've got leeks. But onions work just as well. And today I've got brown onions, so I'm using brown onions. There we go. Someone I know brought up some onions, and I thought, well, why not? I've got a lot of them now. You love that song. Which song? Which song are we talking about? Let me have a look here. I don't know which song we're talking about. Grant's Faithful. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you here. I'm just enjoying a nice Saturday morning inside. Oh, this is one of those onions that when you cut into it, it's actually 2 onions. Right, there we go. Now, does it bother you that you can't actually see me chopping vegetables? Like I said, it isn't a tutorial, but I can have another play with the camera. So it all depends what you want to see. You can see a little bit. Oh my God, the onions are getting to me already. Maybe if I move back here. You can sort of see. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, I've moved back here. I'm getting affected. Eyes are watering. It's not good. It's not good. Now, what I'm going to do is get these onion scraps and get them out of my way, because every little bit of onion that I can get out of my way is a good thing. Now, it's not time, Pepper. All right. Where are we, folks? Dagwood, welcome in. Good to have you here. He says, oh yes, I see the shield. My city dodged a huge storm and flooding, but no tornado. Yes, yes, I did hear about that. I was on someone's live early this morning, Joy, and they had just missed a tornado, like just missed it. Now, I'm only roughly chopping the onions because it's going to go into a soup, and I'm probably going to be pulsing the soup at the end. So Won't be too bad. This particular soup I'm doing today is curried vegetable, because I do like my curry. So I am going to be putting in it, normally I'd have leeks, but I'm using 2 brown onions instead of 2 leeks. I am going to be using zucchini, garlic. I've got some celery, which I grew in the warmer months. So see on the end there, oh, you probably can't see. It actually says celery times 3, 28th of April. So this is basically 3 sticks of celery that I grew, and then I slice it and I freeze it, and I put it in a bag, and then I put it in a little tub, and then it stacks away in the freezer. So we've got some fresh produce, but it's frozen fresh produce. So I'm going to be putting some celery in it. If you've got any herbs like parsley or anything like that, I mean, herbs to your own taste, you know. Curry powder, of course, we've got to have the curry powder. And what else is going to go in there? Potatoes. Got to have potatoes. We put a bit of cream in it, so there'll be some cream toward the end, because it's like a cream of curried vegetable. So once I'm getting to the point where I'm going to like blend the soup, so the soup's done its thing, you let it cool down for a little bit, and then it goes in the blender, which is over there. Yeah, blender. There. And then you add cream to it, and then you've got your cream of curried cream of vegetable. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. All right. So what we need now is butter. And with my zucchinis too, I have this. I've got a nice green zucchini, but I've also got a white one. And it's definitely getting past its best. So this one would be the best one to use in a soup. It's good when, you know, soup is a good way of getting rid of your old veg, which is getting a little bit bleh. But I thought I'd grab this as well, just in case I cut into this and it's not quite what we're after. But I am after now some butter. Butter. Oh, there we go. Got stuff all over the place, don't I? What's everyone talking about? Hey, Colleen, welcome in. Hello, Louie. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome to both of you. Just give me a moment and I'll catch up with the chat. So what we're going to do is get a big knob of butter and plop it into the big pan. And then I'm just going to put this pan over on the wood stove and melt the butter down. And then I can catch up with the chat for a minute or two and see what everyone's saying. So there's the wood stove. You can see the pots over here next to the kettle. Let's see what everyone's up to. So if I go up here, the soup sounds good, says Dora. Yeah, it does. Look, it's a firm favourite. I think it's probably, well, no, chicken soup is probably my ultimate favourite. Like a simple chicken soup is just so comforting and so warming. And I think most of us think that about chicken soup. And then there's another one I make quite often, which is potato and bacon soup, and that's really yummy too. Not particularly healthy because it's full of carbs. There's a lot of potato goes into it, but it's a beautiful soup. Very comforting. Yes, Louis saying hello. Colleen saying hello. Everyone's saying hello to Colleen and to Louis and to foraging. Hey, Dagwood. Oh, right. Yes, it is beautiful. I love my wood stove. You can't live on a homestead and not have a wood stove, can you? All right, let's have a look here. All right. I can hear the butter sizzling. I don't know if you can hear that, but all right. Oh, bugger. I forgot to bring more firewood in. That's going to be a bit of a problem later. I'll have to race out and grab some. Now, actually, now you all just get to watch the wood stove for a moment, just for a moment. While I get this onion and we'll put it in the pot. Right. I'm using a, because I've been trying not to use plastics, and I had these plastic chopping boards and I've decided to toss them. So I'm using this chopping board, and it was gifted to me like, 15 years ago, and it's so heavy and it's so big. And it's like, I only started using it a few weeks ago, like properly. And I get my onions on there, and you try and take it over, and you're trying to like tip it and tip your onion and your stuff. And it's just, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. It's too big. But it'll do. It'll do in the meantime. Autumn, winter is soup season to me. Yes, indeed. Oh, someone's talking about clam chowder. Oh man, yes, yes. Because I love seafood. So clam chowder, yes, for sure. All right. Oh dear. Okay. So let us come back to this view. I will cover the butter over, put that there. So onion is in. Let's see how this zucchini is looking. It's okay, actually. It's better than I was expecting. So I think we can use this. No, I don't like that bit. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. It's just a seed. All right. I won't do that. So I grab all these bits of zucchini. I'm going to toss them into the pot now. And then what else do I need? I'll put that there. Zucchini's there. Whoops. I'm going to get all our celery. I'm basically just tossing it all into the lid of the pot, just because the lid of the pot is smaller and easier for me to handle. There's all the frozen celery. So do that. Frozen celery as well. So onion is in, zucchini, okay. Curry powder and garlic. Yes, we can't forget garlic now, can we? Wow. Can you hear the sizzle? I must say it's already smelling so nice. Louis is saying My mum had a recipe. It's called pudding pie or granny cake, and one of my favorite YouTuber friends made it. Oh wow. The real odds and evens is here. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. Good to see you. I saw you alive earlier this morning. Oh, well, it wouldn't be your morning. It was my morning. And I was lurking. I did lurk for a short while between doing other bits and pieces. But yes, I hope you're well. Right. So I'll let that do its thing. I should probably give it a stir, don't you think? We'll give it a stir. It's already smelling really good. And what else do I need? Oh. Right. I need to add, so sorry, I know you're looking at nothing there. Bear with me. Bear with me. Right. Next thing to go in is 1 litre of chicken stock. Well, it doesn't have to be chicken stock. Use vegetable stock, beef stock, whatever you like, really. All right, so we'll add the stock. And then catch up, see what everyone's saying. I'm well, thank you, says the real odds and evens. Hope the same for you. Louis Fuller says, I also put a recipe on my community tab if anyone cares to make it. I'll have a look, Louis. I'll go and have a look. Oh, that sounds, oh, cornbread. You know, I've never had cornbread. No, the real odds and evens is not an Aussie, Joy. Now what else have I got to do? Oh, curry powder and garlic, of course. Okay, garlic. Garlic, garlic, garlic. Oh. Alrighty, the pot's got nice and quiet now. And now we need to get some curry powder. Curry powder. There we go. And go back to looking at the oven. It's far prettier. I bought another one of these. It's backwards, but it actually says Clive of India curry powder, authentic curry powder, what's more. So I need to add to this soup. Well, look, the original recipe did say 2 where is it? 2 teaspoons of curry powder, it says. But I do love my hot food. And I mean, that's a teaspoon. And I think I'm going to be putting a lot more than 2 teaspoons. In fact, this is so empty, I'm not really getting much out of it at all. So we're going to put all of that in. Now that was probably about half a teaspoon. but I'm going to end up putting a lot more than 2 teaspoons. And I'm probably going to add all sorts of other things. Like, of course, there's going to be like salt and pepper and a variety of dried Italian herbs and probably smoked paprika. Lots of paprikas and cayenne pepper and things like that. All right, so we got just opened a new one. So I'm going to put, we'll start with 2. Oh, it smells lovely. I'm a food sniffer. I always know, like, open a tin of coffee, have a sniff, open curry powder, have a sniff. It's just like, oh, so good, so good. Now we're going to give it a stir. The other thing I need to do, I'm going to open the back vent, which will open the flue, and that will allow air to go through, so it will make the fire kick up, which will make the stovetop get hotter. So we open that, and then I have to open this wheel here at the front. I don't know if you can quite see it, and that will allow more airflow in, and then opening that one at the back allows more airflow out. So it just allows the fire to sort of roar more, for want of a better word. So we'll do that. Have I got any more wood? Oh man. A single piece. One piece. I'm going to need more than one piece. But that's okay. That's okay. We will we'll get to it in a moment, shall we? So we've got our onions, our zucchini, our garlic, our celery and curry powder in the pot. And now I need to add the potatoes. So I'm using 3 potatoes. Actually, this one's got a little hint of green on it, so I might just I'll take the green skin off. I don't want green. I know, Pepper. Mal, you've still got 25 minutes. No, it's not time to be fed yet. 25 minutes. All right, so we'll chop these up. And we'll put them in. So yes, very exciting. The veggie garden, the new veggie garden fence has finally been completed. I have been dreaming of this, this garden space for such a long time, like years and years and years. And once we get the soup on and simmering, I might take you outside and give you a quick look. Only a quick look though. We'll see. We'll see how quick it actually is. So we'll get these 3 potatoes. We'll get them in. I'm just cutting them into big chunks because it's all going to be blended down anyway. Right, and then I'll pop it into this lid because it's easy to carry. And then we'll pop it into the stove. Put that there. so potato is in. Again, we're going to give it a stir. Make sure the potato and everything is under the water. Okay, that is under the water. And there's not a lot happening in there yet. Not enough anyway. So where are we up to? Old Hillbilly. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you once more. Cornmeal, Joy is saying cornmeal is really easy to find in the States. Not so much here though. I am Angus, says I just subbed to Callum AI. Thank you, I am Angus. Welcome in to you also. Good to see you here. Today is Saturday in Australia, and Saturday I tend to do my indoor lives. Although we will sort of pop out a little bit later. At the moment, I'm making some soup on the wood stove because it is our autumn and it's getting quite chilly of an evening. How are you? How are you, I am Angus, and how are you, Old Hillbilly? I was on your channel earlier. Sailing Cook George, welcome in, my friend. It's good to have you here. Hillbilly is Larry and belongs to me. Okay. Okay. So Hillbilly is a friend of yours, Amanda, or belongs to you, shall we say? Now, you're going to hate me, but the kitty. Hello, kitty. Come here. Hello, my darling. This is Truffle. Husband. Aha. Well, welcome, Larry. It's good to see you again. Hello, Truffle. Oh, my baby. Yes. Oh, wow. 30 years. Congratulations on 30 years. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Whoop. Clock slow. Truffle. Yes. No, don't eat that. She likes eating plastic bags. Or not plastic, well, I suppose it is. There's a bag here and she's eating the handle. Now, you guys are going to have to chat amongst yourselves just for like a minute or two, because I need to go outside and get more wood off the veranda for this stove. And then we're going to load the stove up and then we can really get the fire cranking. But I was a bit of a dill. I actually forgot to do it earlier. So I'm doing it now. I'm going to put some in this tub and bring it in, but I like literally just a moment. Come on, Truffle. I need more firewood. All right, I'm coming back. Hello, Pepper. I'm not feeding you yet. Right, got some wood. Oh, you know, it's funny, this morning I was sitting there thinking there's something else I have to do before I start the live. You know, what is it? What is that thing that I have to do? And I had all the veggies here, of course. What I didn't have was wood. Silly me. But I'm back and you're still here. And that's wonderful, isn't it? Truffle has a sweet face, yes. Old Hillbilly, is that a grandfather clock? No, that one wasn't the grandfather clock. That is the one that you just heard strike is a Sessions and Sonia mantle clock from America. It was manufactured in 1897, that one. And its manufactured name was the Satanic. Fantastic name for it. But there you go. But it's a lovely clock. I do have a grandfather clock, but well, there's nothing wrong with it. I just haven't wound it up for a little while, so I must get back into it and wind it up again. The grandfather clock keeps perfect time, absolutely perfect time, and it's been in my family for a very long time. It's been handed down, so yes, I love my grandfather clock. Heart's Humble Homestead is putting up everyone's links. Thank you so much, Kirsty. I do appreciate that very much. I still remember the constant feeding of the stove and miss it. Nothing warms your bones like wood heat. And that's true. That is absolutely true. Speaking of which, I better actually put the wood in, hey? Now, let's see. Wonder how much. Now I'll go from the front. Start with that one. One. Now I'm using smaller bits of wood because I want the heat to crank up. So small bits make it get hotter quicker. Will that fit through the front? Yes, it will. Sometimes if you have a bit that doesn't fit, you can lift the lid on the top and you can put some bigger pieces on the top. But already I can hear that the oven is really starting to crank up now. All right. Yeah, nothing warms you like wood from a wood stove. You're quite right. Now I'm going to wash my hands. So you get to watch me wash my hands. Not that it's particularly exciting. Okay. Put that out of there. Put that there. Just because I have my woodworking gloves on. And they're relatively clean inside, but I think when you're dealing with food, you think, Okay, so now that we've done that, we're supposed to... Where's my lid gone? I'm going to put the lid on this pot. And we'll let it come to the boil. Hopefully that won't take too long. I'll put the kettle there because I'm feeling like I wouldn't mind a cuppa sometime soon. Unfortunately, I've got no more of those biscuits. For any of you who were here on my Saturday Live last week, I made biscuits in the wood stove. I made, I think the batch came to about 28. But, you know, it had been so long since I made them that we just like hoed into them. They didn't last long at all. We got a few days out of them, but yeah, they didn't last long. So, chop potatoes, add to the thingy. All right, so basically all we have to do now is we bring the pot to the boil, and then once it's boiling, we reduce it to a simmer. Now, how do you reduce it to a simmer on a wood stove? Well, as I said, we've got the front vent open and the top one to get the airflow going through. To slow it down, you close the vents off. So the more air you want, the more heat you want, the more you open them. And then as you want to reduce your heat, you slowly close the vents down to reduce the airflow. And of course, the other thing you can do is just move it. So the wood box is here on this side. So that above the wood box is going to be the hottest part of the stove. So if you consider this side in simple terms is like your boiling side, the middle is cooler, and then over here is like a really cool simmer. Yeah, see, at the moment I can touch that. I wouldn't want to touch it for long, but so yes. So once it's boiling, we'll reduce it to a simmer, and we're probably going to let it go for about, I don't know, 45 minutes. Hello, Brad. Brad, have you noticed you're blue? You're blue, Brad. I went into everyone's channels, or at least there was someone I forgot. I wrote a list of everyone that I promised to make a mod, and there was someone I forgot. And I'm sitting there thinking, who's this other person I was supposed to? But I went in after the live last week and modded the people that I promised. So are you well, Brad? Amanda is asking, can I bake in it? In who? You're asking me if I can bake in the wood stove? Yes. Last Saturday, so the time slot for this live, but last week I did biscuits in it. Honey and coconut. Brad saying, thank you for the blue coat, my friend. Much respect for cooking with wood. Definitely a lost art. Well, it is. It is. And I mean, I'm trying to be fairly self-sufficient here. So like our water comes from, you know, the rain from the sky. The house has no, it doesn't. The house has water tanks. The garage has two 20,000 litre tanks. Up the pasture, I've got the big hay shed, and that's got a 20,000 litre tank as well. So we've got like 70, 80,000 litres of water tanks here at the moment. So we're self-sufficient for water. Because we've got all the bush here on this property, the firewood mostly comes from here also. This year we did buy some in, only because I had an injury, and also Kevin, who comes up every Friday and helps me with firewood and things, he also had an injury. He cracked a vertebrae in his spine on Christmas Day or around then. So he wasn't able to do the firewood this year either. So I have had to buy a little bit in. And it's the first time I've had to buy firewood for like 8 years, I think it is. But yeah, so normally we're self-sufficient for water, we're self-sufficient for firewood. And then of course this stove here has what they call a water jacket. So it also heats the water. So it heats the house, it heats our food, and it heats our water. So it's a great thing, you know, if you can get a wood stove, then you probably should. They're a fantastic thing to have. And then of course I'm trying to grow as much of my own food as I can. And this new veggie garden that we've got is going to go a long way toward that. I mean, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited about it. Ginger Nuts, welcome in, my friend. Brad Palmer says, I'm great. Thank you. I hope you are too. I am indeed. And how are you, Ginger Nuts? Brooke Trout is also here. Welcome in, Brooke Trout. How are you today? It must be your Friday evening. Is this your weekend now, Brooke Trout? And are you going to be doing any fishing? Okay, Brad Palmer is saying, I am sub to Brooke Trout. That is lovely. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, everyone. Old Hillbilly, who is Larry, says wood heats you 3 times, cutting, stacking, and burning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. It does. So let's see if this is, once we get this to a simmer, we can probably head outside for a few minutes because we've got to let it go for about 45. So once, I'll let it get to the boil, and then once it's got to the boil, we can turn it down to a simmer, and then we'll go outside. Oh, it's getting there. It's not far off. Not far off at all. Oh, Ginger Nuts, your name is Neil. Well, it's lovely to meet you, Neil. I do try, when I know people's names, I do try and use them. Like Amanda is foraging and urban farming, and Kirsty is Heart's Humble Homestead, and Explorer Dora is Dora. One of her many names. She has a few, but we'll go with Dora today. Kirsty says, I think I've caught up with the links. Please let me know if I missed your channel. Kirsty, thank you so much. You do this every time I have a live, and I'm so grateful to you. You and Ace between you are just, you're miracle workers. You really are. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate both of you for all the effort that you put into my lives. It's sensational. And I mean, I appreciate everyone who's here too, of course. Oh, can you hear the oven roaring? It's really starting to roar now. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear it? Maybe you can't. Hello, Kitty. You're going to fall. Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling. All right. I might put a bit of pepper in it, because I love pepper. You can never, ever have too much pepper. Oh, yeah, that's starting to boil now. I'll take the lid off while I put some pepper in. Oh, there's Ace. Hello, Ace. Our soup's coming along. And what else should I put in? Do you think I should put in some smoked paprika? I mean, I put smoked paprika in absolutely everything. I might do. I might do. All right. There we go. And then we'll give it a stir. Once we've done that, we'll put it onto a simmer. Mix in all those spices. It smells incredible. It smells incredible. I wish you could smell it. All right. So I will put this over here. I'll pop the lid back on, and then we'll wander outside for a few minutes if you like. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm not sure if you can see, no you can't, but I'm going to close the front vent. Almost entirely, but not all the way. And then I'm going to close the back one. So now the airflow has been shut down. The fire, that will smother the fire a little bit, so it won't get quite as hot. So shut the top one. which is the flue. That is up there. And then I'm going to move it across. Get that out of the way. Put that over here for a moment. I reckon put it about there. So it's not totally on the cool side, but it's as close to it as I can get. All right, let's see what everyone's saying. And just, no, have a look at the wood stove. There we go. Amanda says, I love smoked paprika. I know, it's wonderful stuff, isn't it? Now, where are my work boots? If I'm going to go outside, I need a decent pair of shoes, don't I? All right, you just stare at the wood stove for a minute. I'll get the shoes. I'll get the shoes. We're going to head outside for a bit. Stop. I'm not feeding you. I'm not feeding you. All right. I have my tatty old work boots. I know, Pepper. But while we're outside, you will be fed. Yes, you will. Yes. All right. There's 1, 2. What are we saying? Amanda says, any pepper smoked is lovely. I tried to smoke peppers but didn't understand the assignment. We'll try it again this year. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow, that sounds interesting. That's not something I've tried to do myself. So I'll put my battery pack into my pocket and we'll have a brief walk. But I tell you, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? I need to set the timer. I know that much. So Ginger Nuts, who is Neil, says, just stop in to say hi, be well, folks. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Neil. I do appreciate that. If you could give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed being here. If you didn't enjoy being here, then don't give it a thumbs up. But if you did, please do. All right, we've got the timer set. It actually says 45 minutes. So we'll do that. And I'll tip that over. What else do I need to hide from the cats? There's always something you've got to hide from the cats if you're going to go outside. Do that, do that. Oh, you know, let me rethink that. I'll put you there again for a moment. I need 2 hands to do this. So put that there. Potato peeler goes there. That goes there. And then I put a cover over the sink. And that way the cats can't get into it. All right, now oh, they became black pepper, a good kind. Oh, that's no good. Well, you know, it just means you've got to try again. You'll get there. Shall we go outside? Let's go outside. So, turn you around. Okay. Heading out the door. Look, I did some pruning and I've put the blind up too. But can you see the new space? So this little set of stairs here. Normally there's See, there's a blind there. And on my Tuesday lives, quite often I sit there at that table. And then there's a blind here. And there's normally a blind here, but I've got it up at the moment. And there's normally a blind there, but I've got it up at the moment. And then there's a blind. But now, look out there. That's the new veg space. Oh my God, you have a corgi. My corgi lived to 21 years old. It was my first ever dog. All right, let me get down these stairs. They're a little bit slippery. I can uncover the apple trees now. That'll be good. So, Kirsty, are you here still? Of course you're here still. Silly question. What do you think? Oh, Susan, I had a corgi when I was a girl, says Amanda. Corgis are beautiful dogs. Kirsty says, it's amazing. I can't wait to see it develop. You and me both. So yes, we've got nice concrete posts in the corners. So it's all electrified. Because out there I have sheep and sometimes I have cows in this paddock or pasture. So it's all electrified, nice with new posts, yes. I can't afford to get work done very often, but when I get it done well. There's no point cutting corners. It just sort of comes back to bite you on the bum later when you end up having to replace things earlier than you wanted. Larry says, our corgi is just over a year old and reminds you of Odie from Garfield. Oh, really? So the guy who was doing the fencing, he was a bit upset because he thought the gate was sitting a bit high. But it doesn't really matter because years ago I used to breed sheep and I had lambs. Now lambs would get under that, but I'm not going to be breeding any more sheep. I'm breeding the cattle now. And the sheep that I do have that you can see down there, they're just living their best life. Getting older and older. There's a couple of 17-year-olds. And so the fence continues off down that way. See, it's actually a tangible thing now, Kirsty. That's what I like about it. It's just, before I was imagining it, whereas now it's a real space with a fence and it's electric. And that tatty old water trough thing, I'm going to tidy that up and fill it up with compost. It's going to have some nice plant in it. I don't know what yet. It's going to be the centerpiece of the garden. But yeah, look at it. So this space is 20 meters by 50 meters. So 20 by 50. Larry says, I tried sheep when I was younger. I wasn't really very good at it. Yes, the water troughs, they do. They make awesome planters. You're right. So how many strands have got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 strands. Oh, with a fountain in it as well. That sounds awesome. So yeah, this is it. It's all coming together. It's very exciting. Very exciting. This has basically been on my wish list since I moved here. Joy says, wow, you'll have a cornucopia in there. Well, let's hope so, Joy. That is the plan. But yeah, 50 by 20 meters. It's a big space. I'm thinking of planting either elderberry, and I mean, it is a big trough. It is a big trough. Black currants have the most incredible hot pink flowers, and also it makes great cordial black currants. So what I'm going to do, obviously I'm going to tidy up the edges. I need to fill this still. At the moment I've got some old sheep wool in here that I didn't use for anything else, so that's got tossed in, and we're going to fill it with compost. And I thought that a black currant and an elderberry would look really good in there as like a centerpiece for the garden, and something sort of, it's sort of semi-decorative. Whatever goes in there, it's got to look pretty because it's the centerpiece. But it also needs to be, because this is an edible garden, or it will be eventually. So it's got to be something edible. So if you've got any suggestions, go for it. Tell Hillbilly to get that pond of mine going. Oh, Larry, you've been told. Elderberry would be lovely. I have too, says Kirsty. Yeah, it's a good size. It's a good size. I have a little itty bitty fountain out the back. But maybe for my 60th birthday, when it's my 60th birthday, and you know, I've got a few years to go yet, I might get a bigger one out the front. That would be nice. And then my daughter looked at this yesterday and she said, oh, maybe we should put a gazebo there instead. I think, what, a gazebo in the middle of the veggie garden? I suppose it would be a nice place to come and sit, but very expensive. I could grow a grapevine over it, I suppose. Elderberry has a tropical look to me. Could it be a theme garden? This one, yeah, I know what you mean about the long lists. Well, I suppose it is a theme garden in that this is going to be the kitchen garden, for want of a better word. This is where I'm going to relocate all my vegetable and herb growing. So the last, down there, further down the property, is where all the fruit trees are, apart from the two here that I just planted in the last 6 months. But the fruit trees, you know, they're getting bigger, and what's happening is they're shading the area where the original veggie garden was. And of course, you do need your trees to get bigger. And even though I pruned them most years, the veggie garden, the original veggie garden, just wasn't getting enough light. It was put there by the owners of the property before I bought the place. And I guess when they set their veggie garden up down there, there weren't a lot of plants. You know, they planted all the fruit trees, but then of course they sold the place and the trees got bigger, and now everything's in shade. So this is going to be all veggies and herbs. So this space, the plan is it's going to provide me with a year worth of food. So a year's worth of bell peppers and chilies and potatoes and carrots and parsnips and Swedes. And over in the corner there, I want to build a little greenhouse, because up here we get snow in winter, so we need to have ways of keeping things growing in the late autumn, winter and spring months. Joy says many folks use elderberry tincture for colds and flus. Yes, that's right. Kirsty says, I do, Joy. I make it into a syrup and I make the flowers into a cordial as well. Yes, I've done that also. And Amanda says, I've seen elderberry growing in ditches in Oklahoma right after I bought and planted one. I know. That's what happened to me too. But then once you've bought one, you know what you're looking for more then. Larry says any kind of dwarf fruit tree would look good in the trough. Not sure what would grow there. I want to plant a dwarf apricot, a Moore Park. And Moore Park is a, I think it's an English apricot. It's been around since the 1700s. And it deals very well with snowy conditions. Oh my God! Jeff Davies, hello, my friend. How are you? Teal Horse, welcome in, my friend. D-Man. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Dwarf fruit. Yeah, well, this one here that you can see through the cage is a dwarf Jonathan apple. And then over here in the other corner, I have a dwarf Granny Smith. And they were only planted that they haven't even been in for 12 months yet. Now, this Granny Smith did get some green apples on it, had about 4 or 5, but then the parrots got to them before I did. So I didn't actually, even though they grew, I didn't get to try them. That one there, the Jonathan, the red apple, that got, I picked 13 apples off that, and there was another 3 that the birds got to. Awesome Raiders. Oh, thank you so much. That's really good of John to send you all across. I do appreciate that. Chrissy, welcome in. Says, hey, hello, my dear, welcome in. Micah, hello from Cairns. Are you in Cairns? As in Cairns, Australia? Welcome in. And a fellow Aussie. Raid. Simply Susie, hello, my love. Hello from Driving Daily. Oh, thank you. I was on Driving Daily early and I thought, oh, I'm not going to say anything. I know I shouldn't feel bad, but sometimes I feel bad and I think, oh, he's sending all his people over. I thought I'm purposely not going to say that I'm doing a live. But he remembered. Mountain Man, thank you so much for being here. Stevenator, welcome in. It's so good to see you all. We've just come outside for a brief moment. This is normally my Saturday is normally an indoor live. Dash for Freedom, another door dasher. Welcome in. I do hope I haven't missed anyone. Micah says, yes, Cairns, Queensland, Australia. How wonderful. Peter Vander, welcome in. So yes, this is the new space. We're just looking at the new veggie garden space. But we should pop in. Should we pop inside just briefly? No, that I don't think we need to quite yet. The soup is simmering away on our wood stove. So let's go and have a quick look at the cows, shall we? Since we've got a few people here who don't normally see cows. So we're just going to duck through here. Ugh. Ducking. And we'll go have a quick look at the cows. Hopefully they're where I think they are. And then once we've done that, we probably need to just go in and make sure that the soup is doing what the soup does best. Oh, okay. Well, there's certainly plenty of smoke coming out of the chimney, so that's a sign. Goats. I don't have goats, though. I have cows. I've got cows, sheep, and chickens. See, that's my little fountain there, but I don't have it on at the moment. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. That little bird you can hear is a silver grey strike thrush. Joseph is here. Hey, how are you? I'm well, thank you, Joseph. It's our Saturday morning. And it's probably about 11:15. Moo! Bonjour, Dot. Dot is the Jersey cow over there. Bonjour, Dot. Ellie la file. Ellie la file. The soup, yes, the soup. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I have made this morning. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my children. I've made a curried, or I'm making a curried vegetable. Curried vegetable is what we've got on the stove inside. Hello, children. Hello, Coco. Hello, hello. New York gal, welcome in. Heather, welcome in. Leslie, welcome in. I know, long time no see, huh? Thank you so much for being here. Oh, and thank you, Ace, for putting up Driving Daily's link and everyone's link. So the black one here, this is Coco. Hello, Coco. And that's right. And hello, Coco. Don't sneeze on me. That's Thunderhoof. The white one back there, that's Fiona. And that one is Pickles. And the black one, you can just, yeah, that one there, that is Panda. Hello, darling. Hello, hello. Hello, Dot. Who's my girl? Who's my girl? Oh, very elegant. Okay, so yeah, this one here, the black one with the white head, that's Panda. That's the really naughty one. How are the fences holding up? They're doing good. Shelley, welcome in, my dear. I do hope I've caught you all. Everyone's come in so quickly. I do apologize if I've missed saying hello to you. I try and talk to everyone. I try and keep up with the chat as best I can. Joyce is a course of cows in French. Yeah. Ali Lafille. Well, yeah, because a few years ago, a long time ago actually, when I was in high school, okay, now I'm in my 50s now, so you got an idea of how long high school was. I learnt French, and of course I didn't remember it. And then when I was in my 20s and 30s, I went backpacking around Europe, and I went to France, and will blow me down, all this French study that I did in high school that I thought I had no idea about. Well, I remembered it. I remembered so much. Oh, so sweet. This black cow, Coco, is the calf of Dot here, the Jersey. Yeah, I remembered it, and I thought, yes, I must sort of keep learning. But the problem is that I don't know anyone that's actually French. I have no one that I can practice with. And so what I do is I practice with the cows. So I come out and I talk to them in French. Leslie says, hi, Coco, Thunderhoof, Fiona, Pickles, and Panda. Oh, I can keep going. We've got Oreo. Now, which one's Oreo? I think this, no, that's Storm. And then we've got Oreo, and then we've got a little calf down there that was born just a few months ago. Now, children, behave. We've got visitors. I'm trying to show you the calf. All right, I might have to move. Clearly, they're not going to show. All right, so there's a calf. That was one of earlier this year. Yeah, earlier this year, that one. And that is Clover, our first calf that was bred and born on the property. And then we also have that one there that's being licked by its mum. That one is White Thunder. White Thunder, son of Thunderhoof, who just mooed. Oh, that's right, Amanda. Your dog's called Panda. I forgot about that. Now, I wonder, are we missing someone? Are we missing someone? It's never good when you're missing someone. Who are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so we're missing 2. And we're missing a calf and a cow. So obviously Mum is with the calf because I'm not seeing... Oh no, there we go. There's the other calf. It's feeding. It's in under here having a drink from Mum. Panda is a very naughty cow. This one here, he escapes 2 or 3 times a day. He goes through them, over them. He doesn't care. Any Yankee, welcome in, my friend. It's lovely to see you. Aren't we here? Aren't we here? Is that... Welcome in. I'm fairly confident that I completely butchered your handle name then, and I do apologise. Shelley says, welcome in. Mountain Man is mooing at the cows. How do you say moo in French? You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably just moo, I suspect. But, you know, you've got me thinking now, so I'll have to look it up later. I know he doesn't mean to be naughty, but I still call him naughty. But I love him in a weird sort of a way. Moo, that's right. Peter Vander says, love cows, grew up in the Netherlands, lots of cows there. Yes, there would be too. How many do I have, asks Chrissy. 16 at the moment. If you think about it, watching her live, we are literally investing in her cows. Well, in a weird sort of a way you are. I mean, I'm not monetized. So from that point of view, you're not. But you are. I don't think it'll be that long. I think I'm going to end up being partially monetized by probably early June. So then you'll really be investing. People today don't know what real milk tastes like. I know. Isn't that horrible? Imagine never knowing. Driving Daily. Hello, my friend. Hello, John. It's so good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for sending everyone across from your live. I purposely didn't tell you I was doing a live. Moo, says John. Wow, there's so much chat. I'm trying to keep up. So it's still moo, but with an accent. Moo. Ho ho. Ho ho ho. Todd Saw is here. G'day, mates, and howdy. Welcome in, Todd. Well, oh, they're all settling down. They're going to sit down here for a while. I suppose I better go in and check this soup, hey? Shall we go check the soup? Squawk, squawk, squawk. There's some very unhappy birds. Let's go in and see how this soup is doing on our wood stove. Woo! Sorry, it's a little bit windy. Whoops, fell in a hole. See, that's what happens when I'm busy looking at the chat. I fall in holes. So we'll go over here. We'll go inside. I'm really well, thank you, Micah. Hang on, I got your name right, didn't I? I'm going from memory. Yes, no, I'm well. It's Saturday and I'm having a good week. And this week we haven't had too many disasters. We did manage to tip a truck in the driveway on Monday. That was fun. a truck with an excavator on the back, and it took 8 hours to get it sorted again. Let's just have a peek through the window. Well, nothing looks like it's boiling over. That's always positive, isn't it? Let's have a quick look at this view before we go out inside. Yes, this is me, folks. Victoria, Australia, in the high country. Now, Amanda, you need to behave. You need to behave. You can't be telling off your hubby like that. John is saying hello to everyone. Hillbilly is 73, your age, or after Winchester 73. Oh, okay. Love the shade. I know it's a lovely spot. Larry says birth year. I'm not an ancient hillbilly yet. So 73 is your birth year. Oh, you're younger than I am. Yeah, it's a great view, isn't it? The best views are up the back of the property. And that little excavator over there is what we used to... there's an auger on the excavator. And he used the auger to dig the holes for all the concrete posts for this new veggie garden that I'm creating. So that's the new space for the veggie garden. All of that out there. It is 20 meters by 50 meters. Thank you, Simply Susie. It is a fantastic view. I am so very blessed. I'm very lucky because it doesn't matter where I walk. I've got a wraparound veranda. And like this is the, hang on, goes up in the east. All right, so this is the west. And all you can see is mountains. We've got a few wattles there. When they eventually fall over, there's only mountains behind them. And yeah, I mean, just look at it. Doesn't matter where I am on this veranda. There's no houses. There's no street lights. I'm an old mountain man wannabe. Yeah. It ain't the years, it's the miles. Yes, true. Whoop, getting tangled up in a rose bush. That lovely tree that you see there, that is called golden rain. It's one of the first trees to change colour here in autumn. Joy says, mountain man, I think we have a bit of that in all of us. Yeah, I think we do too. There's the cows. And then back around the back again. So it's like the whole way round, you know. No cars, no streets, no neighbours, no street lights. Here at night time, it is pitch black. Pitch black. And I love it. I love that. I mean, there's stars, of course. And the moon when it's the right time of the month. But I love that. I love the remoteness. I love that all I can hear is birds and the wind in the trees and koalas and deer and wombats and all sorts. So let's see how this soup is doing. Now, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, if you're enjoying the live, then please consider it. That would be great. If you're not enjoying the live, don't do it. I don't want you to sort of, you know. All right. This is my wood stove. And this is our soup. But I do think I'll put the kettle over. Okay, well, I think it's time for coffee, clearly. So I'll move that back there. All right, that's the soup simmering. How many more minutes have we got? Let me put the tripod down. Oh. And hang on, what are we looking at here? So if I put you there, then I'll put you there, and then we're back to where we were before. Yeah, there we go. Now let me just have a quick catch up. No street lights. Sigh, says Amanda. I know, it's wonderful. It's just so wonderful. It's a beautiful tree. I like the name also. The Golden Rain. Yeah, the Golden Rain is beautiful. And I think I've shown it on other lives, but the seed pods, when they start, they're like Chinese lanterns. They're literally like Chinese lanterns. And they are in big bunches of Chinese lanterns that are like that size. You know, they're quite big. They can be well over an inch, sometimes 2 inches long, these little lanterns. And then as they dry off, they open and you get these big seeds inside, like the size of a pea, like a black pea. But it's a stunning tree. No streetlights, no. I was definitely born in the wrong century. I hear you, Larry. I so do. Dora is saying, Dora from Explorer Dora 80 says, I've finished cleaning the camper now, off to the house to clean. No rest for the wicked. I'm hearing you, love. I'm hearing you. Foraging and urban farming. Amanda says, lovely yard. Maddie, welcome in, my friend. I haven't seen you since, gosh, it must be yesterday. I saw you yesterday on Dora's Live. How are you, Maddie? You having a good day? I hope you're having a good day. Jeff Davies says, really nice place. Thank you, Jeff. Maddie says, ooh, wood stove. It is. It's fantastic. So it heats the house. Hang on. I don't know what I'm looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, it heats this end of the house adequately well. It also has a water jacket on it, so it heats the water up as well. And of course, you can cook on it and in it and all that sort of thing. And for anyone who's on my live this same time slot, but last week, I was baking honey coconut biscuits. So we did 28 or 29 biscuits. So I made them here and then we baked them all in the oven. And then I sat and ate them all in front of you. If I had any left, I'd still be eating them in front of you, but they didn't last very long, strangely. Now, hang on. Yes, I saw someone there say it's always time for coffee. Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, I know. Dora's going to be so excited when that house is finished. I think we all will be. I mean, how sensational. I think it's sensational. Ace says, Susan, 51. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you ever so much. I remember seeing that film on the big screen. I remember seeing that film on the big screen. Oh, the skies here are sensational, Amanda. Mountain Man says, when I first saw Jeremiah Johnson, I felt like I was born 100 years. Yes, yeah, I know, I hear you. I really do. I really do. Let me see. Artware says, lol. Heather's laughing. That's good. See, we want you to be happy. We're a happy community here. What's Kirsty doing? Dora's inviting herself over to Kirsty's. If Dora's going over to Kirsty's, well, I'm going as well. Explorer Dora says 52 now. I should like the live also. Yes, please, Dora. You got to like my live, honey. Please. So I think I need to give this what the timer say. All right, so 8 minutes. So what we did was we brought the soup up to a boil and then we moved it across to the cooler side of the oven. So this is the hot side of the oven because this is where, hang on, I'll open the back vent. I was hoping it wouldn't smoke that much, but it is. All right, do that. I don't know if you can see that or how well you can see that. Can you see the... Oh yeah, you can sort of see it, can't you? So that's the wood box, of course, where you have your fire. And so anything directly above the wood box is going to get hotter quicker. So if you're trying to bring something to the boil, you put it on this side. And what you do is you open, there's a vent down here in the door, you open the vent and then you open another vent at the back here, which I just opened then. And that allows the air to flow, more air to flow into the oven and to flow quicker. And so that fire will then kick up and get even hotter so you can cook things quickly on that side. Then once you've brought it to the boil, like your kettle, move my kettle there. See, it's boiling. It's fantastic. I move it there. It's not as hot, so it's not whistling. And then here where the soup is, well, that's a lot cooler. So when you want to adjust your heat in the wood stove, it's a balance between opening or closing the front vent in the door, opening and closing your flue at the back, your chimney, and just sort of like relocating things on the space to get the right temperature. But shut that down. I think, yeah, I don't know why I did that. Have it. I think I deserve a cuppa, don't you? Do you think I deserve a cuppa? I do. Now, where are we up to? Amanda is saying that is true. He really was named that, and he was a handsome, tall fella. Oh, do like a handsome, tall fella. Looks like a walk-in oven. Oh yeah, a little bit, because it's set in the big chimney there. You mean? Yes, yes, yes. Have a cuppa. You deserve it. Timer's saying 5 minutes. So once the timer goes off, it means that the soup has been at a simmer for 45 minutes at that point. So then what I'll do is I'll sort of, stick it with a knife and just see how soft the veggies are. And then I'll probably take it off the stove to let it cool down a little bit, because I'm going to end up blending this soup. So I need to cool it enough that I can blend it without burning myself. Because I'm not a fan of burning myself, you can well imagine. Now what am I after? Coffee. I'll have a coffee. Because it's the weekend, I've got my special cup. So I'm going to make myself a coffee. And so I'm going to go into the pantry because that's where the coffee lives. Right, we're in here. All right. I have the coffee, or the granules at least. No super fancy coffee here, unfortunately. So I'll get the kettle. And we'll pour the water in. Not that you can really see it. There we go. Because you've got to get the full experience. There we are. How magnificent. Do love a good cup of coffee. All right, so quiz of the day. Not that we've done a quiz of the day before, but we're doing one now. Now, you need to ignore the dust on it, okay? But, now I know what this is, okay? But do any of you think of this as a quiz? Can any of you tell me what this is? Think of it as a Saturday game. A dunce cap. Yes. Yes. No, it doesn't really fit. No, it's not a funnel. Doesn't have an open end. It's got a handle. So we'll let everyone guess for a few minutes. I will let you know. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'll let you know what it is, but I want everyone to put their guesses in first. Cream separator? No, it's not a cream separator either. Ah, coffee, coffee, coffee. A beer mug. Oh, joy. No, it's not a beer mug. But Joy, you are incredibly close. You're close. Joy has hit upon something there. It's not a beer mug. And no, it's not a mold. Oh, goodness. Did you hear my stomach rumbling? How embarrassing. Ah, now old hillbilly, I thought you might know this one. A giant candle snuffer. Yes, it does look exactly like a candle snuffer, doesn't it? But it's just a little bit big, as you pointed out. Larry, do you not know what it is? There's no hole in the bottom. Ah, timer. Okay. There's no hole in the bottom of it, so it's not a funnel. Oh. No more suggestions? All right, let's have a look. So this soup we're doing, for anyone who's just come in, the ingredients in the soup, I have 2 onions. Sometimes I use onions, sometimes I use leeks. I didn't have leeks today, so there's 2 brown onions in there. There is 3 potatoes. There is 4 cloves of garlic, because I'm absolutely obsessed with garlic. So there's 4 cloves of crushed garlic in there. There is, I put in celery, 3 sticks of celery, about 2.5, 3 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 litre of stock, and I think I've added some pepper to it. Yes, I did. I added lots of pepper to it. So that's what it is. It's going to be cream of curried vegetable. I'm going to just check it now, make sure the vegetables are actually soft enough. If they are, I'm going to move it off the stove and let it sort of cool down a little bit, and then I will be blending it. I don't know if I'll be doing that on the live because it might take about an hour for this to cool down. We'll see how it goes. Once I've blended it, then I'll add more spices to taste, and I will also be adding about half a cup of cream. So it's cream of curried vegetable is what we're making, and that will be our dinner tonight. Well, the potatoes seem soft. The knife went right through it. I'll just try a few more. Yeah, I think they're done. I think they're done. I wish you could smell this. It just smells so incredible. So what I'm going to do is find where I put the lid, which is over here. Oh, and I'm going to take it over and pop it here. And now I can really enjoy my cup of coffee. Ah, lovely. Nice, plain, black cuppa. Now, what's happening with the chat? Let me just check. Okay. Oh, yes. A ladle to skim foam off a vat or something. Something for brewing, he said. He being Larry. Moonshine still. See, we're getting closer. Joy said something about a beer mug. And Amanda from Foraging and Urban Farming said something for brewing, he said. So that would be Larry. He is Larry. And Heather says moonshine. Is it a warmer for? Yes, Kirsty. Kirsty. Yes. Yes. That is what it is. Well done, my love. I'm going to put our chickens to bed. I'll be back, says Old Hillbilly. Okay, not a problem. We'll see you again shortly. The soup sounds lovely. Thank you, it does. Yes. So you've got to remember that this is basically for heating up mulled wine, but also cider and even beer. So back in the day, this is probably from the late 1700s, early 1800s, in the days where they didn't have artificial heating, and so they're sitting there, cold in their homes, and the last thing they wanted was a cold beer. So it would go in here, and you can see there's a little bit of a lip there. Don't know how clearly you can see, but there's a little lip for pouring. So they probably would have had a stand of some sort, and they'd put their liquid in, and then it would sit in the fire and it would warm it up. So yes, this is for heating beer and mulled wine and cider in a fireplace. So there we go. Well done, Kirsty. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Kirsty says, I love vintage items. Yeah, me too. She wins. Go Heart solved our mystery. She certainly did. Heather in Iowa says, we have mulled wine at Christmas in a crock pot, but that sounds way fancier. Yes, it does. You're quite right. The only thing is, being here in Australia at Christmas, it's summer here. And what I don't do generally is have the wood stove on. I do have, you can probably just see it over there. There's an electric stove as well. The wood stove tends to go like about 10 months of the year, but then December and January, and sometimes February as well, can be incredibly hot. And when it is hot, the last thing you want is to make it even hotter inside by having the wood stove going. So I don't. And if I need to eat any, and like summer you tend to eat a lot of salads as well. So you're not consuming as much hot food. But if I do want hot food, I will use the electric oven, which is this one over here. So yeah, unfortunately, having mulled wine or cider at Christmas is not something I tend to do all that often. Oh no, I do, just not in the wood stove. So yeah. Kirsty says, thank you, Amanda. I think I've seen it in one of my old books. Yes, yes. Everyone's saying congratulations to Kirsty. D-Man says, Susan, how did John find you? You know, D-Man, I actually think I might have found John, but it was such a long time ago. I can't honestly tell you how or when. I think it was one night I couldn't sleep and I got onto YouTube and I put it onto lives to see who was live. And I think I just sort of stumbled across John at Driving Daily. And I've been going there ever since because it's just such a great crowd of people. Like here. Here we have a great crowd of people as well. But no, I really enjoy John and his channel. John doesn't remember. No, that would be why he doesn't remember, because I found him. But it was a long time ago. I mean, oh, gee. I reckon it'd have to be over a year ago. I don't think it would be longer than a year ago, but I think about a year ago. Joy is saying hello to D-Man. Hearts is sending hearts to Joy. Strangers in the night, you guys were. Yes, yes, we were, but we're not strangers now. I'm still, John always jokes because he loves, and you know, I've had a really busy few months, so I've been very slack with my uploading of videos. The idea with these Saturday lives was I was going to upload a video one Saturday and then do the live the next, and then an upload and then a live and then an upload or a video and then a live, then a video and a live. But it's just been such a manic couple of months that I still haven't finished my summer video, and we're like in the second half of autumn now, and my summer video is still unedited, or not totally unedited, it's partially unedited. I'll get there. But John loves the voiceovers that I do in my videos, and he's always saying that as a joke we should do a video. So it'll be like John's video, or be a short probably. So John will do a short, which will get uploaded on his channel. And then we're just going to throw everyone entirely, because I was going to do the voiceover on it instead of him. And we're always joking that we're going to try that. And we probably will one day, but it might be like another year or so. We'll get there. We'll get there. Joy is saying, I think you would like the channel Biltane Cottage in Ireland. Ah, okay. That sounds interesting. Accent versus accent. I would watch that. What's that? Oh, Heather, you mean like if I did the voiceover for one of John's shorts? It'd be funny though, wouldn't it? That's what he's always saying. He reckons it would be funny. I think it would, especially if we didn't actually tell anyone we were doing it. Like if he just uploaded it and he's sitting there in his car talking away, but it's actually my voice doing it, I think that would be the funniest thing. You see, Heather thinks it would be funny too. Oh. Well, listen, since the stove part of the morning is over. Shall we go sit on the front veranda while I finish my tea, which is in fact coffee? Should we do that? We'll go look at that lovely mountain view. I'll turn the big light off because I don't need that on. There we go. Doesn't that look homely and lovely? And I'll put this back in my pocket and we'll go sit outside. There are archery seasons are there archery seasons in Australia? Do you mean as in like for hunting? Well, this is going to be tricky. All right, hang on. Hang on. You see there's some more old stuff up there. Lots of exciting old stuff. You see the crosscut saw. That big saw up there gets used from time to time, even now. Oh, Joy, you've got to go? All right, my love. Well, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Yes, hunting. Look, I guess there probably is, but I'm not entirely sure what the seasons are. Because I'm a landowner, I can just excuse all the mess, won't you? We'll go around here, over to the door. Louie's back. Hello, Louie. Because I'm a landowner, of course, you can hunt on your own land anytime you want. All right, so I'm going to open this. Oh, I've got to put my cup of coffee down somewhere. All right, let me. Honestly, it's quite a thing juggling all of this. All right, get back here. Shut the door. Admire the new veggie garden space once again. Now, do we want to sit out the front? I think we do, don't we? Sit in the sun and look at the mountain view. I was going to see if we wanted to sit out the back where we sit on a Tuesday. But I think sitting out here looks far nicer. Look at that. Look at that. And see, these are some of my plants that are going to go into the new veggie garden. These big pots along the front of the veranda. So that first one is a josterberry. And then the one there in the reddish pot with words on the side, this one. This is an elder. That's the one that's going to go in that big corrugated ring. And then I've got this little thing down here. That's a blueberry. And then, oh, what's that one? I don't remember. I'm losing track of my plants. I've got lots of chives. I've got pomegranates. More stuff. Gooseberries. They're gooseberries. These two here are gooseberries. I've never actually grown gooseberries before. I've had them. I've never grown them. And a friend of mine gave me some cuttings. And so all those plants, the josterberries and the gooseberries and the elderberry, they're all grown from cuttings. So I planted them just before Christmas. It's amazing how quickly they've grown. Like they've really put on some growth, considering that in fact, it wasn't even before Christmas. Anyway, they're doing incredibly well. So let's look at this view and have coffee. Oh, are you going, Heather? Is Heather going? Amanda's saying, Joy, it was lovely to meet you. Oh, no, Heather's saying good night to Joy. Okay. Can't wait to be able to plant. Still too cold here. Quite a variety you'll have. Well, that's the plan. Amanda says, I have my first tomatoes growing out here. That's sensational. That's really awesome. Well done. Well done. What do you do with your tomatoes, Amanda? Do you Like, do you make any preserves with them? Do you make any sauces, or hang on, ketchups? You call it ketchup over there. I obviously I eat them fresh. No, go away, you wasp. I don't want a wasp here. Yes, so obviously I have them in salads and sandwiches and things like that. But then I also make like tomato sauce or tomato ketchup, and I'll try if I can to make like a year's worth. But I have found from trial and error. Hang on, if I put that back there, can you still see me? And if I sit back here, can you sit? No, that doesn't really work. I have found through trial and error that I'm just adjusting the camera. If we lift that there like that and do that like that, hang on, I'll be back with you in a moment. Oh, there we go. Now you can see me better. All right, so yes, I've found through trial and error that when I make tomato sauce, it doesn't really last the full 12 months on the shelf. So what I do now is I make batches of tomato sauce. I might do like a litre of sauce, which I'll on the shelf in glass jars, and then the rest of it, what I'll do is I will actually put it in freezer bags and freeze it. And then once I've got rid of the first 1 litre, then I start taking the freezer bags out. And the freezer bags I usually do have like half a litre in each per bag. And so then as I need it, I just defrost a bag. So I always make tomato sauce or ketchup. And the other thing I do with my tomatoes is I do like semi-sun-dried tomatoes. So I dehydrate them and then I put them in olive oil and up on the shelf. We go through a lot. We go through a lot of sun-dried tomatoes here. We put it on absolutely everything. Every time we do a pasta dish, sun-dried tomatoes. Sun-dried tomatoes on homemade pizza, sun-dried tomatoes in salads. I mean, it's such a versatile vegetable. And of course, as a fresh vegetable, it's also versatile. There's just so much you can do with tomatoes. How do we get onto this? Oh, that's right. It was Amanda's fault. Amanda brought it up. So yes, what are you going to do with your tomatoes, Amanda? What's your plan? I need another freezer, Heather. Yeah, I have 2 freezers. And they're getting pretty full, I must say. And more so at the moment because I don't have a fridge, because our fridge died about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And so because of that, there's things living in the freezer that normally wouldn't live in the freezer. You know, like if I make butter or something like that, quite often I'll have the one that I'm using and that will just sit on the bench top in the kitchen, and then I'll have a few sitting in the fridge. But at the moment I don't have a fridge that I can do that with, so I'm wrapping them up and I'm putting them in the freezer. But hopefully we'll be getting a fridge soon. I mean, I'm just grateful that the weather's cool, you know. Now, let me just freeze some. Yes. Oh, salsa. Yeah, that's a good idea. I forget about salsa. And that's because my daughter's not a huge fan. And so if I make salsa, pardon me, I do end up eating most of it myself, which isn't always a bad thing. There's only so much you can eat of anything, even salsa. Eat them. Yes, I do. I do eat them. Freeze some. Yes. Now, who was that? Oh, Sharon. Gotta run. Catch you next time. I'm so sorry I didn't see you come in, my friend. Thank you for being here. I hope you gave it a thumbs up before you went, because if you didn't, I'm going to get you later. You know that. And I can say that to her because I've known her since I was a teenager. So, Sharon, like the live, please. Amanda says, I want just enough tomatoes to have to decide what to do. Yeah. And Are We Here says, be right back. Well, thank you. I'm glad you'll be right back. So yes, I'm very excited about the veggie garden. I'm not leaving. I just have to step away. Oh, thank you. No, I saw the be right back. So it's all good, my love. I'll probably be here for a little bit longer yet. We'll probably sit for a little bit longer. Yes, indeed. But no, in the veggie garden, I'm going to have tomatoes. I am going to have bell peppers and chili, lots of chili, because I like to make my sweet chili jam. And again, I like to make a year's worth, as well as having enough to just eat, in salads and sandwiches and pastas and all that sort of thing. But I need to have enough to make a year's worth of sweet chili jam. And the main ingredients of the sweet chili jam that I do is bell peppers and chili. So I need a lot of those. I will be growing potatoes, of course, lots of spinach, lots of what we call silver beet, but I think in the Northern Hemisphere, a lot of you guys call it chard. So I'll be growing a lot of that. I want to grow Swedes, which you guys called rutabaga. Ruta. You know what I mean, though, I think. So I want to grow them because I love making Cornish pasties and Swedes. If you're going to make Cornish pasties from scratch, you've got to have Swedes in there. So I always grow Swedes when I can. So I'm going to be planting those. And cauliflowers, because I can do cauliflower soup and I can put it in the blender and make cauliflower rice and all sorts of things like that, and broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I know I'm getting all my seasons mixed up here. I'm just being sort of overwhelmed with thoughts of vegetables. Isn't that sad, really? Being overwhelmed by vegetables. Dear me, I'm a sick puppy, aren't I? I never would have thought when I was younger that I would be so fanatical about vegetables. My mother would be pleased. What kind of chili? Rutabaga. Yes. I can never remember. Okay, I'm going to remember that now. Rutabaga is Swedes. What kind of chili? I've got a collection of seeds inside. Like, I've got lots of seeds for the cayenne pepper. So the cayenne chili, rather, the really long, thin red ones. But any chili I can get hold of, really. Some years I will. Oh, I've tried all sorts. I've tried all sorts with the chili jam. I love chili. I love spice. Hot food is good. Lots, like Mexican spices and so much variety out there, isn't there? Cayenne, yes, yeah. Oh, it's so versatile. Sounds like MasterChef with the cauliflower rice. Yeah, well, when COVID happened, I've never grown cayenne, but that, you should do. Yeah, no, they grow so easily. They really do. I mean, I would say that it's a good, if you've never grown chili before, it's a good one to start with. It's just so easy. and quite prolific too in its fruiting. But COVID, yes. When COVID happened, and I was working a couple of days a week in a bakery in town, and then they started putting off staff because there just weren't enough customers coming in. So I was working up here on my own property a few days a week and working in town, and then the money stopped coming in because I didn't have a job. And I had always planned to be as self-sufficient as I could be here. That was always the plan. But I didn't know that COVID was going to happen, and it sort of forced my hand, so I had to sort of start doing things earlier than I felt like I was ready for. And so I was like madly growing vegetables. And look, we did quite well. You know, like I said, we get our own water from the property. We get our own firewood mostly from the property, and that heats the house, heats the water, cooks our food. We probably grow 80% of our own food. Some years it's a bit more, some years it's a bit less. Um, I can make butter, especially when the Jersey cow, when I was milking her, could make, you know, you get your own butter, your own cream, your own cheese, all that sort of thing. But the one thing, even pasta, you know, like you can make your own pasta. What I couldn't do was make rice. And so I started researching, and that was when I came across cauliflower rice. And it's so incredible. I mean, and it's like real rice in that if I'm doing, say, um, 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 fried rice, Chinese fried rice, for instance, and I don't have any rice, rice of itself doesn't have a huge amount of flavor, but it gets flavor from the things that you cook with it and the sauces that you add and the vegetables and the meats that you add and the spices that you add. And cauliflower is much the same. So if I am out of rice, I can get a head of cauliflower, cut it into flowerets, pop them in the blender and or food processor if you have one, and you just pulse it a couple of times until it's, you know, approximately the size of rice. And then I cook it exactly the same way as I would cook rice. I will do a stir fry, but use cauliflower rice instead of real rice. Um, and so I do that quite often now. I still love my real rice, but cauliflower rice is just as quick and just as easy, but it's healthier. You know, you're getting all the goodness from eating a vegetable. It's not as starchy, I suppose, as real rice would be. And a lot of people, like if they're doing keto and they're watching their weight and stuff like that, they don't want to eat things like potatoes and pasta and rice. So when you're making cauliflower rice, or even rice, like I've done it with broccoli as well. I don't think broccoli does have a stronger flavor. And I've sometimes done it with a mix of broccoli and cauliflower. So it's just so much healthier. It's so much healthier. And that's why I now cook. Well, I do, I suppose, but I now try and grow a lot of cauliflower. And what I'll do is I will either you can freeze it in its flowerets or you can blend it so it's already in like its rice form, and then I put it in the freezer. And so when I want rice or cauliflower rice, I can just grab some cauliflower rice and cook it up, and it like literally it cooks even quicker than rice does. Like it's incredibly quick, like 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes from frozen. Okay, that's the clincher. 2 or 3 minutes from frozen, and it's healthier. So yeah, look, if you've never tried cauliflower rice, give it a go. Give it a go. And I'm so sorry that I'm crapping on so much about cauliflower. Now, let me just have a look here. Jalapeno peppers, green peppers. Oh, I've never grown cayenne. It's one of my favorite spices. Okay, so that's where I was up to. That was from Heather. And then Amanda says green chili. Oh, yeah, no, I like green chili. Amanda says I grow lots of peppers every year. Serrano peppers. Is that how you say it, Heather? And jalapenos. Yeah, I love them. And I have, oh, yes, the Hungarian wax peppers. Yes, I have grown those as well. I forgot about those. When you asked what peppers, someone asked what peppers, and I was visualizing them, and I think, what on earth do you call those things? Yes, Hungarian wax peppers, that's them. I'm going to try paprika peppers this year. Yeah, no, do, Heather. No, that was Kirsty that said that. Yes, do it. Do it, Kirsty. Heather says, I love gardening. I'm turning into my mother. Yeah, I think it happens to all of us eventually, love. It really does. But that's good. I don't mind that. Amanda says, I grow a red pepper called Cherry Hots that are round and lovely, and I grow them every year. I don't know if we have that one over here. Kirsty says, that's amazing, Susan. Have you ever made or had cauliflower rice, Kirsty? But that was how I got onto it, because I thought, well, there was these huge lockdowns and like people weren't able to leave their houses. Now it didn't bother me so much up here, but I wasn't going to be driving like 45 minutes into town to go buy groceries. And really that was my only stumbling block was, well, I can make everything else or I can grow everything else. But even pasta, I can make pasta, but what do I do about rice? And that was the solution. And so once I figured that out, we were well and truly on the way. Heather says, we get cauliflower crust for pizza at the store now. Oh, really? That's awesome. I wonder, Larry, Old Hillbilly, says, I wonder what it would entail to send seeds to another country. Probably get confiscated, says Heather. It would depend, like if you were sending them, hide them in a ceramic. Yeah, no. I know in Australia at least they're absolutely fanatical about things that get sent here. They're very strict with the laws, because there's so many plant and insect and even animal diseases, I suppose, that are quite prevalent in other parts of the world that just aren't here. We don't have them. And so, of course, if someone sends seeds in and it does have some sort of disease on it, well, it can end up spreading throughout the entire country, I suppose. So I guess it's a good thing. Sometimes it can be annoying when there's something you really, really desperately want and it's just not available in this country. And I think, oh, bugger, But having said that, I completely get it. Like, I'd rather have a country that's really on top of their quarantine than not. Shh, says Amanda. Coffee Mama. Hello, my love. Welcome in. Welcome in. Kirsty says, I have not, but would like to try it. Oh, no, yeah, try it. You can just, buy one from the supermarket and cut it into floralettes and just pulse it a couple of times and give it a go. It's so easy. Yes, that is true. Ecological terrible. Quite right. Heather says it's protecting against invasive plants and blight. Yeah. Well, I think it was about 2 years ago. Somehow, I think there was a ship that came into port in Melbourne, in the town of Melbourne, and someone was trying to import some bees, and they found when it got to port that now I hope I don't butcher this, verolamite, Any of you in the chat who are beekeepers probably know what I'm trying to say, at least. I hope I got it right. Anyway, you know, it had never got into Australia before. And like within years, all of Melbourne was like, you know, there were things going out in the press saying, you know, if you're a beekeeper, we think we've contained it, but we found verolamite on this ship. We're going to try and contain it, but just, you know, be mindful. And I think within a week they found verolamite in a suburb not too far from the ports. And it's all across Australia now, which is a shame. And look, they tried so hard. They really did. Like, it's incredible. But they just weren't able to contain it quickly enough. And so that was, I think, in 2024. So up until 2024, we'd never had that mite in Australia affecting our bees and our beekeepers and their hives. Oops, hang on. Oh, what have I done? I've done something. I touched. Wait, let's get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, so that was a shame. That was a shame. I think it was the first time, yeah, it was the first time in like decades that that they weren't able to stop something at the border. So we're incredibly lucky. We're incredibly lucky that we are quite clear of things like that here in this country, and it's such a shame that the mite got through. But they can only do the best they can do, and it happens. But Australian beekeepers, you know, because we're not used to having it, they're still learning how to deal with it, because up until, you know, 2024, it had never been in this country. So now they're all having to change their beekeeping practices to try and sort of try and contain the spread a little bit, I suppose. Larry says, here in the US, we have a community that shares seeds. I understand the drawbacks. I just wish. Hang on. See, Amanda said something and she knocked her husband out of the way. No, stop doing that, Amanda. Okay, I can't read it. I wish. No, no. Every time I try and scroll down to read the rest of Larry's comment, Amanda's comment just says, no, don't want you there. In Colorado, we fished in a lake that was full of goldfish in the shallow end, not supposed to be there. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's amazing what you can find in a pond sometimes, isn't it? I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm so busy talking. Oh, it's more like iced coffee now. The thought was there. But, my friends, this is a magnificent afternoon. Actually, is it afternoon? No, it's probably still morning. It's still morning. This is a magnificent morning, and I so appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for coming in and pottering with me today and helping me ease into the weekend. I hope you enjoyed me sort of making soup. Like, you couldn't really see what I was doing, but it wasn't meant to be a tutorial. It was more about just sort of being able to mooch around together in the kitchen. And now we can sit out on the veranda and enjoy a coffee. And once I finish this coffee, which won't be long because we're down to the bottom, I think it might be time to call it a day, as they say. But it's been wonderful to have you all here. Kirsty, as always, thank you so much for being here and for putting up everyone's links. I know Ace is probably here as well. Thank you very much, my love. thank you to all of you who have been here and who have come in and who have given it a thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs ups I've got now, but if you enjoyed being here and hanging around with me, please do consider a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, well then don't bother. That's okay, I get it. But oh, pretty birds. But no, if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I hope you all have a most wonderful weekend. Whether you're in Australia, it's already Saturday. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's your Friday night. So technically your weekend has already started. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and that you all stay safe and be happy and all that sort of thing. And yes, it's been nice to meet you too, Heather. I have seen you on other people's chats. I think we have chatted before. Let me just make sure there's nothing here in the chat that I need to catch up on. Coffee Mama is here. Kirsty says, thank you, Susan. Thank you for the chat. You are so welcome, my love. 9 p.m. here in Oklahoma, and yes, quite right. So let's have a look at the view one last time. If I can, hang on, I've got to move the battery pack. So there's the view. You can hear a few motorbikes roaring past. I won't be able to do that for much longer. You know, the lucky thing is the road is so far away that I never really hear traffic up here, which is the other good thing. You know, I was saying before, I don't see buildings and I don't see street lights and you can't hear vehicles. But if the wind's blowing in the right direction and a motorbike roars past, I can hear it. Ace, thank you for sharing, Susan, and thank you all. Thank you, Ace, for being here. You and Kirsty both do a lot for me and my channel when I'm doing my lives, and I appreciate it both. I appreciate it very, very much. 55, says Ace. Oh my God, that's so awesome. So, my friends, have a wonderful weekend. I love you all. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and yeah, I'll be back doing another live on Tuesday. I'll see you all then. Bye. Thank you.